There I am.
Hey,
Sorry.
John.
Hi, how you doing? Sorry,
I'm
I have
good,
to
man.
put, sorry, if I have to push the button more than twice, I'm like, I'm out.
All
You
good,
know?
man.
All right, good. Okay, there.
I'm
Okay.
good. How are you feeling, man? First and
Um,
foremost.
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I just got over I was spent a couple of days in the hospital. I had about a pneumonia that I wasn't expecting, and I wound up blowing off our tour of South Africa, but I will be 100% for Australia.
And when you go back to South Africa too, I'm sure you guys will want to get back there and,
Yeah. Yeah,
finish
what
the
we
job.
yeah, as soon as we go from Australia, I think shortly after that we go to South Africa,
Perfect.
you know.
And you're
Yeah.
going to be in Australia two times in a year, basically. You're down here with the Matchbox guys.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, we were
Okay.
lucky enough to catch the set here in Brisbane, and all energy all the way. There's just no stops. So
Yeah. Well,
at
when you're opening, and we're a band that's been around for like 30 years, so it's like you got a lot of songs that people know, and you're just trying to stuff the most important ones into this hour,
yeah.
a little bit less than an hour, I think. And so you don't got a lot of time to stop, you know?
Yeah. And I've got to say, congratulations, Iris, certified diamond. But what a lot of people don't know is right before you wrote that song, you're pretty close to leaving the band. What was going on at that point in your life?
Um, I think I was getting a little disillusioned with the way, uh, I mean, I was just a little disillusioned about things, and I wanted to, I don't know, I wanted to have a little bit more of a normal life, you
Yep,
know. So then I turn around and write the biggest song of our career, and
exactly.
and everything like quadrupled down, you know. So, but I'm grateful for that song. I'm grateful that people still like it,
Yep.
and I still get to make records for Warner Brothers. So I'm happy.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that song opened a whole new fan base to you. And a
Yeah.
lot of people didn't realize that the Goo Goo Dolls existed for quite some time before that, with
Mhm.
a bit more of a pop punk edge. How many of
Yeah.
those albums would you ever want to go back and maybe remix any of those albums or do
Oh
some
my God.
updates?
I'd like to burn them, but no, the first two albums I would like to burn. But but there was an album called Hold Me Up, and that was sort of like I started to feel like, okay, well, I'm actually learning how to write songs. What used to happen in the music business, you'd have a couple of good songs, and then you'd write 50 okay ones, and then the record company would put it out, and they'd be like, okay, we're going to put you with these people, and maybe you can learn something from them. And it was very much a learning process, and these A&R guys would see the potential in a band, and support you and develop you. And I think that's something that's missing a lot from the music business now. There's not a lot of development going on. um, Careers are very short term. They explode really quickly, and and then they're gone. I mean, you see a lot of that, but I guess it's always been like that. It's just the technology is moving so quickly,
Yeah,
that's like, if you want to be I mean, creating art takes time, and
yeah.
we live in a world that has an incredibly short attention span. So, you know,
Well, I've often thought that maybe I could open up my own A&R wing on TikTok. I think that'd be the way to go.
that'd be kind of cool because I mean, there are obviously an awful lot of really talented people in this world,
Yeah.
and I think with the right development and the right nurturing, you can create something of value. I mean, it's like someone told me someone told me this, and um when we first started, they said, just don't. not when we first started, but as we were progressing, around the after our second, third album, they said, just try to write quality stuff. Don't go with any trendy, gimmicky kind of stuff. It's like just be yourself,
Yep.
and then, you know, and at that moment in time it worked, but now it seems like everybody has to be like someone else, you
Yes.
know, and it's a little disheartening because I think it's hard for these young artists starting out now because it's like, how do you stand out from the rest of everybody? And the pressure to be part of that TikTok culture
Yep.
where you're always doing a crazy dance. That's not true. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's an unbearable amount of pressure to these young people to
Yep.
do, and then to try to create something of value on top of that. It's almost like a lot of times the music takes a back seat to the presence on social media, you know. Um, and then the songwriting gets done by a bunch of guys in a room or guys and girls in a room, and the quality just kind of goes down, and nobody makes any money.
No. Well, I said this to someone the other day. I was at a festival and they were talking about um, 80s music, how, it was seen as all style, no substance. And I said to them, but isn't that exactly the same as TikTok? It's just without the hairspray. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's all a gimmick.
yeah. But now there's still a lot of great music out there. You
Yeah.
just got to look for it. Same as in the 80s. I remember that somebody saying, like, older than me, being like, there's no good music. I was like a sophomore in high school, and I was like, what, David Bowie? Like
Yeah.
Echo and the Bunnymen, the Smiths? Come on. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there was so much great music, you know. And there still is out there. It's just that the volume of material. I mean, they upload 100,000 songs a day. It's crazy to the streaming
Wow.
services. It's insanity. It's like, how do you find what's good? And there used to be radio stations, valid music journalism.
Yep.
Uh, you know, I mean, there was a lot of nonsense and bullshit going on too, payola and all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. But you had a fighting chance to have a career back then. You know,
Exactly. I've got to
yeah.
ask, some people might even see this as a gimmick. I don't think it is. You use a lot of alternate tunings. Was that a happy accident or a deliberate thing?
Well, I mean, if you it started out as me trying. Okay, I'll tell you where I got the idea from. I went to see a band called Husker Du, and the guitar player Bob Mould, who was a huge influence on my songwriting and my guitar playing at that point in my life. And I saw him winding his guitar strings up in between songs and changing the tuning. And I was like, oh, he's doing that because it's just a three piece. So he's filling up the space
Yep.
in the songs. And it was amazing to see something like that. But it's not a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. Jimmy Page, big on that. Joni Mitchell, huge with that. Stephen Stills, huge with that. I mean, Keith Richards, huge with alternate tunings. I
Yep.
mean, you're talking about some of the most talented people who ever walked the earth. You know,
Yep.
if I'm being gimmicky because of that, great. That's good company.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you've got, you said you got Page with the Dadgad, and you got Keith with
yeah.
his open G. What's your favorite?
Open G. My favorite. Well, I mean, sometimes I make them up. But I like Dad Gad, but I'll change Dad the G to an A sometimes.
Yeah.
And it does a completely different thing. And it's kind of I love when people try to play my songs on my guitars. Like, I'll be like, here, play it, and then I'll show them. You only need two fingers to do it. It's just, but it's all about that.
Yep.
It's all about
Yeah.
your right hand. You know, so
Hey, I'd rather hear one great note than a million notes in 10 seconds.
Me too. When I think about that's a good thing. Like I saw BB King, and that guy held one note and just started shaking it.
Yep.
And it went on and on and on. And it was so passionate and so soulful. And I think that's the important thing. Yeah, you're right. One good note is worth a million. And then I've seen these guys, these I'm just like, I want to throw them a fish like
Yeah.
they're a trained seal.
Yep.
But
No.
thankfully we're not living in that era anymore.
Well, I had to photograph a certain guitar player that does a lot of that with
Yeah. I mean,
a
it
scalloped Fender
takes
neck, and it wasn't fun.
oh, okay. All right. Does his name start with Y?
It possibly, and why is a very good question.
Okay.
Yeah, we're only allowed to stand on one side of the stage and everything like that.
Yeah,
And
it's like, yeah,
I loved watching his drummer. His drummer was just fantastic, and it was just
yeah,
rock
yeah,
solid.
yeah. I'm amazed by those like metal drummers.
Yep.
It's just it's pretty. It's the pyrotechnical aspects of being able to play an instrument at that level. It's
Yep.
just it's pretty amazing. I don't like the music at all, but it is interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Just as a spectacle. And on my bucket list, this is on my bucket list. I want to see Ramstein. I
Yes.
have I have to see Ramstein before they go away.
Yeah.
I don't care where I have to go on the planet. I want to see everything catch fire.
Yeah.
That's you
Yeah.
know
Including them.
yeah, right, exactly. And it's not really my kind of music, but
Yep.
it's a pretty incredible spectacle.
Yeah.
So
Now, speaking of music, Chaos in Bloom is pretty much 18 months old at this point, and so you're going to finish up your touring cycle pretty much. Will you go
oh
straight
yeah.
back into writing mode?
I'm already working on the next record. I'm about maybe halfway done. I'm not production, but like writing and arranging and doing lyrics and getting like basic demo-y kind of ideas together, try to figure out with the producer and who's also my collaborator, a guy named Greg Wattenberg. And just kind of trying to feel out what it's like.
Yep.
What is this gonna feel like? So it just comes. You just keep working at it until it comes.
Would you say
You know.
2026 is probably the timeline?
No, no, next year, next year, next.
Fantastic.
Yeah, by March or April
That'll be an
of
even
next
better
year.
excuse to come back again then.
I would love to come back. I would come back every year if I could. Yeah.
So you've done 14 albums in total,
Yeah.
and along your side you've had Robbie. What's
Yeah.
the key to not killing each other after all these years?
Occasionally we have a knockdown, drag out brawl, you know,
Yep.
where you know, nobody ever gets really hurt. But yeah, we've rolled around the dressing room floor a few nights,
Yep.
and throwing things at each other. But it happens. I mean, he's at this point in time, the guy is like my brother. I've known him. Robbie and I have been together longer. We've known each other longer than we haven't known each other.
Yep.
So, but the crazy thing is, I remember this just a few months ago. He and I, something happened during a show, and like I went into the dressing room and I yelled at him, and then I don't know how it happened. Next thing you know, we're rolling around on the floor, people trying to break us up, and then we went back to the hotel. And the next morning, he texts me. He's like, "Want to have coffee?" I was like, "Sure." And then we went down, and it was like, I mean, he's my brother.
Brothers.
It's
Yep.
like,
Brothers fight.
yeah, we're gonna beat the shit out of each other occasionally.
Yep.
You know?
Now, did you hear his cover of the Kiss song "Hard Luck Woman"?
No, I never heard it. No,
You
but
need
I
to
would
go on
imagine.
YouTube.
Oh, okay, well, okay, I'll do it. You know,
I look. I love it. I
I,
love his
I,
take on
yeah, I stay out of his private affairs.
it. So no Kiss covers for you, then I take it.
Uh, the crazy thing is, "Hard Luck Woman." If you're gonna do a Kiss song, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's probably would have been my first choice to do.
Yep.
Um, if I had done that. Beth is a little,
Ugh.
yeah, I know. I had a girlfriend in high school named Beth, and I'm just like, every time it's been like 40 years, and every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, I
I've
can't
seen a
even
lot.
think
I've
about it.
seen too many Kiss shows over my time. I've worked them, shot them. It's the one song I can't stand still
Yeah, and I mean, what other good ballads did they have? I think
forever.
it was for I see. I tuned out at Dynasty. That's when I
Right.
went, oh, I'm done. And but
Well,
but I don't know
speaking
that. I
speaking
don't
of
know that song.
Dynasty, 2000 Man, Open G.
Oh, is it really?
It's a Stone song.
Oh yeah, 2000 man. Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Crazy.
And
I
then
forgot that was a Stone song.
Ace did an Open G song on the next album as a rock song, like he's one of his own, but he did Open G for that too.
Yeah, it's a great tuning. I mean, I don't know if you
Yeah.
play guitar, but
I
it sure
badly.
is fun. Well, that never stopped me. But it's like Open G is a great. It's just fun. It's just fun. You
Yeah.
know.
So when you hit here next year, how much of the
hmm
new material do you like to get into the set?
I don't know if anything from what will eventually be the new record
Yep.
that's coming out in
Yeah.
25. I don't think we're gonna do any of that just because
Cool.
nobody knows it, and like everybody kind of stands there when you play a song that no one knows.
Yep.
We used to go out and play new material to try it out on people, but now you play a song nobody knows, and it's kind of like people don't know if they like it, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
all right, let's just avoid the awkward silence. We'll play the hits.
Yep. All right. So people are going to come. They're going to see the hits. That's no
Mhm.
doubt about it. Is there a
Yeah.
song that you actually wish you never had to play again?
Wow. No, no. Honestly,
Yep.
no, no. I'm happy, because it's like I get to play those songs, and it's like I know so many guys who we started out the same, and we all kind of rose up together and had some success, and then a lot of people had to drop off and drop out for
Yeah.
whatever reason, and they're wishing that they could play those songs for people. So it's like I have a little thing written on a road case on the side of the stage as I walk up onto the stage, and it says, "This might be the last time you ever get to do this." And
Yep.
it's like it's a good reminder for me because the whole business is based on ego and bullshit,
Yep.
and it's like so you know, just that little reminder just helps, you know? And it's like I used to have a piece of paper on the front of the stage with these two big arrows on it. And
Yep.
it said the audience is that way. And it was like sometimes I would feel kind of shy, like not shy, but sort of like self-conscious.
Yep.
And in order to get over that, I had to remind myself the audience is that way, meaning you're here for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Exactly right.
right.
Awesome.
And it's like, and in that, I mean, I don't want to sound weird about it, but we're really kind of in a service industry.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I'm here for you, and it's like, when you think about how much money a pair of tickets costs, how much a t-shirt, a couple of watered down cups of beer, parking, all that. It's a lot of money. It's
Yeah.
like,
It is.
the least you can do is put your ass into your performance, you know? And it's like, I get put off by, I know a couple of musicians who are pretty famous and they're just like, I hate that song. I'm never going to play that song again. And it's like, that song bought you a house in
Yep.
California. It's like, just stop. You're not that important. You know what I mean? There's always someone more important than you around.
Well, now maybe we've just come up with a new merch line for you because they always say if your band fails, you're back at McDonald's. So
Oh yeah.
instead of do you want fries with that, your shirt should say, do you want riffs with that?
Yeah, man. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome, man. I can't wait to see you guys. I'm hoping I'm down in the pit taking happy snaps, but after the Matchbox tour, I'm so excited for a headline tour. I cannot
um,
wait. Enjoy your
thank you so
holidays,
much.
man, and we'll see you in 2025.
You too. Happy holidays, and we'll see you down there soon.
Thanks, man. Bye bye.
Thanks. Good interview. Thank you.
Bye.